Hello, my name is Jeff Christie, and the following interview is for Unit 7, part of EMS 4305, Public Information and Community Relations.
How would you describe your role as a public information officer?
As a public information officer, I see myself as the bridge, more or less, between the EMS agency and the public, especially during critical incidents, so we can establish some timely and consistent information. The hard part, where we're traditionally more reactive, we're going to try and shift towards a more proactive communication model. And this means not just responding to media requests, but getting ahead of the curve and doing community relations, outreach, education, safety messaging.
Why is the PIO role helpful for an emergency medical service agency?
This role brings structure and accountability to our communications and helps prevent any sort of mixed messaging. It also serves as the ability to quickly correct misinformation. When people get consistency and transparency from us, it builds trust, and trust is essential, not just in a crisis, but for day-to-day legitimacy of our work.
What is the importance of maintaining a positive image in the community?
Well, I think just like doing EMS, perception matters. You know, if we already have a stressful job, and when the public sees us in a positive light, it makes everything a little bit smoother.
How would you describe your policy for handling media requests?
My policy is a little bit different than the organization's policy. The organization's policy is professional and flexible. Media requests should be submitted through the public information officer and coordinated closely with leadership, legal, and any other involved agencies in the incident.
What types of incidents often attract media attention?
Anything that requires like a large scale response, in our area it would be the turnpike, the mass transit, anything that would involve the transit authority. Major motor vehicle crashes, any hazmat leaks, or like an unpopular story, such as a 3-year-old getting mowed down by a lawnmower.
What types of information and details can you share with the community?
Well, you can typically share the facts. The facts of it that is already public information. You're just more or less verifying it.
What types of information are considered confidential and cannot be shared, and why?
Anything that's protected under HIPAA should not be shared, and that's the answer for both, is that if it's protected information, it's protected information. People do have rights to maintain the integrity, especially when the process is ongoing.
What recommendations do you have for journalists working with PIOs?
You got to build your relationships ahead of time and try to be respectful of the process, because it's not the easiest job to sift through what can and can't be shared. So rather than trying to build that relationship while the incident is ongoing, it's something that you should do in advance.